Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. So this one's gonna be an interesting video. I've always wanted to do the build video on like the Souls games. I really like them, especially for the challenging difficulty. So I wanted to test my patience and knowledge and all that good stuff on doing a build video. So I'm gonna be doing a set of videos based on the From Software games. So today's video we're gonna be starting off in Demon Souls, and we're gonna be doing a cover art slash lore build. So we'll be doing the build will be based on what we see in the trailers or promotional material, such as like gameplay clips from the official, um, like from software or PlayStation or wherever these clips may be, and also we will be using the equipment and armor what is in the what the characters wear for the trailers and stuff. So today we're gonna be starting with Demon Souls, and depending how well this video does, I will go on to do rest of the games, being the Dark Souls trilogy, Bloodborne, and Elden Ring. And maybe Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. I'm not sure about that one yet. Um, yeah, so the rules for this challenge will be kill all bosses, use the equipment and weapons for the Slayer of Demons, which I'll get into the next clip. And yeah, so as you see, I picked the Knight class, and I'm wearing the fluted armor set, and that'll be armor set for the game. Alrighty, everyone, we are fighting the first boss fight of the game. I just had to re-record audio because I've sped this clip up. But yeah, so the first boss is the Failings Demon, which is pretty cool. I don't mind it. It does get a little bit annoying. But all you want to do is just pick off the little spear jellies, and then you gotta work on the green main part of the failings. I do have my long sword, which is +1 at this point, but the weapon of our choice will be after available after this fight. So just basically do what I do, hit and run, get behind him if you can so you can deal the most damage, and just it's just good to take out the little jellies as well. Also, if you have the pine resin, you can use that and you can do extra damage with Wizard Speak to Fire. So yeah, well, we're about to have our first demon vanquished of the run. So yeah. Alrighty, everyone, we're on now the second boss of the challenge, and I got whacked as I entered into the boss fight arena. So Talonite's another little gimmicky boss. There's a lot of those gimmicky bosses in this game, but no. So there's two ways to do this boss fight. The first way, which I'll be doing, is you'll notice in the opening cutscene there are archers on both sides of the arena on the upper level, and what you want to do is go and take out those archers because they will be annoying and you'll be taking damage and either getting stun locked or staggered by them. And and yeah, it's just not good, not gonna be good. The second way, if you want to get the trophy and the platinum trophy for this game, is that you have to beat the Tower Knight without killing any of the archers. So what you want to do for that is just to attack Tower Knight's ankles, which you'll see in a moment. And also just dodge those magic blasts because they're not any good. They're like terrible, but magic still hurts um to get hit by even in this game. So the weapon I'm using at the moment is the broadsword plus 2 or 3. It was one of those two. Um, yeah, and then as you can see here, I'm attacking his ankles because if you know Demon Souls, the Tower Knight can fall over when you attack his ankles, and you just want to watch out for those big shield slams. You can actually get that shield at the end of the game, funny enough. But yeah, so yeah, as you see, if you get hit by a shield, does lots of damage, and it does uh make you fall to the ground. So as you can see, the Tower Knight has fallen, and you just want to attack his head because that's the most amount of damage you'll be getting in this boss fight. I tried getting a little lucky with my stamina recharged, but I didn't get lucky. So I guess whenever a shield slam, you just want to avoid that. And after he's fallen, he can fall down again, but you just want to attack his ankles, and he'll fall again. And as you can see here, and just be careful when he falls, especially near his legs, because it can push you. Well, with him down, that is our second demon, Vanquished, on our journey. Alrighty, everyone. I forgot to start recording till like halfway through the boss fight, so I do apologize. But we are now on the Armored Spider. There's no unique trophies tied to the Armored Spider. You can just kill him how you want. It's Yeah, he's just got a lot of attacks. One attack is the slam, and you want to hit the little pincer mandible thing to deal damage. Also, as you can see here, he's doing his oil spill attack, which he lights up on fire, and you can avoid this attack by going back towards the fog gate. I'm really grateful I survived the attack, so I had to run back. And he's clearly very low, and he's our third demon vanquished on this journey. Hello everyone. I will be showing you two shortcuts in this Swamp of Defilement world. I mean Valley of Defilement, sorry. Which is a big swamp area, and it's just so annoying, especially if these enemies, um, which can just stagger you, especially the like small ones with the rapid like stabbing attack. So this is the first shortcut to the Leech Monger boss fight. So you just want to follow where I'm going. Just kill any enemies along the way so they don't harass you. And just be careful when you drop down to the wooden platforms because it is dark and you could go over the edge. So just be very careful. So as we're making our way down, we're almost there, and you want to try and avoid jumping on enemies. You can do like 3 damage, but as you saw, I almost slipped. Now, when you get down here, the 2 flaming spear guys, once you've taken care of them and their friend in the back corner, you got a little platform here which you can just drop down, which has, you guessed it, more of these annoying enemies. Just whack them with your sword, and after you kill this one in the back, you will find a bridge you can knock down, which will take you to near the, not far from the fog gate to the Lichmonger boss fight. So this is shortcut number 1. Alrighty, everyone, now this is shortcut number 2. It's a bit of a more longer shortcut, so this will be done in speed up. So in the second part of the Valley of Defilement, in this swamp area, it's annoying, we all hate it, but make sure you have the soldier lotuses to cure the poison, better poison resistance ring, and yeah. So as you see, I went on that ramp and I jumped off to the left when you see that the flaming spear enemy, and that takes you to the right side you need to enter the area where the Dirty Colossus boss fight door is. Just be very careful, because it's just so overloaded with enemies here. It's annoying. Also, another item I suggest you grab is the Rusted Ring, which lets you move very quickly in water, but that ring is only accessible if you have pure world black tendency for Upper Latria, and that's annoying in its own right. So yeah, but now we're just slowly making our way to the back to the shortcut, but I'm showing you another shortcut to from the Archstone to the area. So if you go to the back here, you'll see a flying bug. Just take care of them, but be careful you don't fall off the edge. Then you'll see um, the little bridge coming up right about now. Alrighty, everyone, we are now on to the Leechmonger boss fight. Leechmonger is a pretty interesting boss. Another little gimmick one. So, the Leechmonger can heal itself with the leeches, and a lot of people use fire, but I chose not to use any pine resins just to make the challenge a little bit more, well, challenging. So basically, you just want to keep hitting him and don't let him regenerate. And there's no special trophy tied to him. You can just slay him and it's dead. But I think the Leech Manga is pretty cool. I just want to know like how these leeches combine. Is it like a hive mind or something? Who knows? The lore for these games can be tricky, but uh, annoying to find. So yeah, it's just yeah, it's a cool little boss. The next one's gonna be an interesting one though, which I'll show you guys in a moment, and that is another demon vanquished. Alrighty, everyone, we are now fighting the Dirty Colossus. This boss, despite being dirty, it's pretty easy. Um, well, it usually is easy, but you can break its cannon that it shoots with, but it can still shoot the mosquitoes and has a club, and also I can block the attacks, but that goes half my stamina bar, which is not good, especially since I need to attack afterwards, or a follow-up attack after the block would be great. And also, you just want to watch out for the AoE explosion he does, and those mosquitoes can drain your HP too, which is pretty annoying because you got one boss being the Lich Monger who can drain your HP via the leeches, and you can also get your HP drained steadily by these mosquitoes, which is very annoying. So there's no trophy tied to the Dirty Colossus. You can just defeat him how you want. It's just easy. If you have magic, especially, you can stay at a safe distance and just start casting spells on him. But no, this fight had me on my toes. Like, I was like worried as well because I didn't want to do that run back and defeat the enemies near the fog gate. Also, I've noticed, or what seems to be, is that when I attack his back, it seems to do more damage. I don't know, it could just be me seeing things, but I'm not sure. Who knows? I'll have to look into it. Well, no point looking into it now because I finished a challenge. So yeah, but as you can see, I just stick to his back and just keep hacking and slashing at his back. He can barely hit me, and if I get hit by the club, well, it's gonna do a lot of damage. And see, he can still shoot the mosquitoes without a cannon. But I think the cannon is just more so a design thing. I don't think it actually has any purpose, as some cannons or funnels for guns, or shooting instruments have a way of funneling down the trajectory or something. I don't know, but the Dirty Colossus is has been slain, and that is another demon vanquished. Well, now it's vanquished. Yeah, the message popped up. Alright, cool. I'll see you in the next fight. Alrighty, everyone. So we are now fighting Maiden Astraea, and I just want to show you that I did die and lose some boss fights. As in this attempt, I died to Finland Gall, and there's actually a trophy tied to this fight if you um, beat Maiden Astraea without harming Finland Gall. So yeah, so as you can see, you can pay Finland Gall, and if the thing is as well, his hammer is that big it can hit the sides of the wall, and that's what you just want to do if you want to take him out. It's just yeah, and that's the thing with these games. Sometimes big weapons just bounce off walls, so it's horrible to use a great sword in a tiny corridor when it's just gonna bounce off the wall. That's just how it works, and it does add some realism to it as well. Like if you try to use a great sword in a tiny corridor, you're not gonna be able to spin it properly. You'll be able to thrust it and poke people with it, but that's what you want to do. And as you can see here, Guile can stagger me quite well, and it takes a lot to parry. But now he has fallen, and now it is time to um, say hello to Maiden Australia, or Australia, however you want to pronounce it. And you can get plagued, and plague is annoying. So you just talk to her, and she'll be like, "Oh, you killed him." Well, she's like, "Take my soul," and yeah, and that's another demon vanquished on this challenge. Alrighty, everyone, we're now fighting the Flame Lurker. This is unfortunately not a winning attempt. I will explain how this fight works in the winning battle. And yes, this fight will be in speed up because it's a long drawn out fight, and the original clip was 5 minutes long, and I don't want to waste people's time. So anyway, let's get to the fight. So Flame Lurker is what some people in the Souls community say is the hardest boss of Demon Souls, and for that I agree with him. It's just annoying. But there's another annoying fight that I feel is way more annoying than the Flame Lurker. But we'll focus on Flame Lurker first. So Flame Lurker, as you see, the more damage you do, the more fired up he gets. He clearly must be a fan of the Human Torch, because he's clearly, well, flaming on. That's not bit on my head, but let's just roll with it. So, as well, you got these little lava puddles in the arena that do damage as well. Not a lot, but just tick damage, and you can just hear it go tick, 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 tick. Yeah. Also, the Flame Lurker is purely a melee moveset, like melee fighter. But the more you damage him, his little like flame explosion attacks get right there. The puddle kind of lingers around a bit more, and he just gets just like seemingly more aggressive as he's closer towards defeat. But nah, it's just annoying, this boss. And I actually do get the bleed proc, as you can see on the screen, and this helped out tremendously in the battle. It sped up the fight a lot more, and I just realized that the broadsword can apply bleed. And yeah, but now he is about to be vanquished. So we can add another demon to the vanquished list. There's another demon vanquished. Alrighty, everyone. This is another fight I've lost several attempts at, like at least 4 or 5 attempts. It is the Dragon God, and I'll explain the best way to deal with the Dragon God. So, the Dragon God does have a trophy tied to him, but we'll focus on the fight, and I'll explain the trophy part when we get to the finishing uh, touches. So, Dragon God is another gimmick fight where you have to use 2 harpoons to shoot at his arms, and it takes a lot of damage off of him. And also, you'll see in a moment that if the Dragon God sees you, he will attack. So you can see his eyes are yellow, which means he can't see us. And when he sees us, his eyes will go red and attack. Now in this phase, he will breathe fire instead of punching. And you'll see, okay, he roared, so he saw us for a moment. And the best way to go through this fight is just to hide behind the pillars and two-hand your weapon so you can destroy the rubble in like 1 hit if you can. 2 hits is fine. Now we're almost to the second harpoon, and you just want to keep just hiding. Now, for the trophy, you need a weapon called the Hands of God, which is a fist weapon you can get in this world just before the Flame Lurker boss fight. Now, what I suggest is once you grab them, upgrade them a little bit so they can deal extra damage. Because they're not the strongest hitting moves, or they actually are pretty strong. There's a video on YouTube of someone just beating demon souls with the Hands of God, which is pretty funny. Now, when he slams his head down from the fall, you just want to attack that pointy chin with his. And that's how you win this fight. Well, just want to say we're not Kratos, but we're about to kill a god, so yeah. But no, I think the Dragon God's like a pretty cool boss as well, because you see him in the opening cutscene as the game is about to load up. And he drops down again, and he is added to our list of demons that have been vanquished. Yep, so there's another demon vanquished. I'll see you for the next fight. Alrighty everyone, we're now fighting the Fool's Idol, and the Fool's Idol has a trophy tied to her. So, if you can kill the Fool's Idol, and just look at that sweet damage. My broadsword's at +7 or 6 at this point. I'm pretty sure it's +7. Anyways, here's the trophy part. So, if you can kill her without killing or harming her clones, you get a trophy. And yeah, and this is the quickest I've beaten the Fool's Idol. I was so surprised with the damage I dealt to her that I was just like, just shook. Anyways, it's good to stay on these pillars and use the lock on feature, because her clones have a health bar, as you see there, while the real Fool's Idol does not. Her health bar is on the bottom of the screen. And yeah, they just pelt you with all these magic spells. It's annoying. But anyways, we're about to vanquish the Fool's Idol. That's another demon vanquished. Alrighty everyone, this is the annoying fight that I was saying earlier in the Flame Lurker segment. This, I believe, is the fight I dread the most in Demon Souls. So, right here we are fighting the Man-Eater, who has ranged options and melee options. And this fight is sped up, but I can see that little green like smoke on his back. The snake tails bite the back of the Man-Eaters, which can give them a buff. I am using a +7 broadsword. I'll upgrade it more, but upgrading in this game is pretty annoying. I'm just be honest, it's annoying. Anyways, we got run down, and we got another run. What you want to do is just cut the tails off if you can, and attack them while they're trying to get their buff, because it deals extra damage. So yeah, that's just how you want to do this fight. I hate this fight so much, and if we get a Demon Souls sequel, I don't want another one of these Man-Eater fights. But other than that, we were successful, and it took me multiple tries. But anyways, that's another demon vanquished. Alrighty, everyone. So this is a losing attempt at the old monk battle, but let me explain how the old monk works. The old monk is probably my second favorite Demon Souls boss, but he's gonna have players online beat a boss. So the first player, he killed me so many times, it was just so annoying. I know someone's gonna say, oh, skill issue and that. His weapon destroyed my armor and I had to stop and get souls to repair it. And when you get the NPC down low enough, they can use random magic pops up. And yeah, it's just annoying because you may come across a player with a bad weapon and like really like skilled, or you could come across a player who's just average with an average weapon. Anyways, the ring battle is where you fight the default old monk who has claws, can cast magic, and at any point. So, yeah. But this boss is really interesting how the player can be a boss for another player. In one of my runs, I had a player use the meat cleaver, and for those who don't know, the meat cleaver is really strong. It's a really good weapon. But anyways, we almost killed the old monk, and more magic soul masses. That's what they call it. Yeah, more soul masses appear the lower the health gets. So yeah, that's another demon vanquished, and yeah. Alrighty, everyone. We're now fighting the Adjudicator, and this is where you get the meat cleaver weapon from. So there's a trophy tied to him. Is that you gotta beat him without making him fall. So what I suggest is you stand on the top level with a bow or magic and just shoot the bird on top of him, because that's how you beat him without making him fall. And if you don't want to do that, well, you can just whack the blades stuck in the side of his tummy to make him fall. And with his soul and a plus 10 or 5 club, you can get the meat cleaver. It's such a cool weapon, I like it. Anyways, that's another demon vanquished for the run. Alrighty everyone, we are now onto the old hero boss fight. This boss fight's, I'm gonna say it again, say it with me guys, another gimmick. So the gimmick for this is the the head wrap is covering his eyes so he can't see, but he can hear. So as you can see here, I put the thief's ring on, or I tried to at least, but I just got absolutely smacked. Now, I know someone gonna say, oh, why you cheese with the thief ring. I want to make this somewhat easy on myself. I mean, it's there, so why not? But I'm sorry to those who want me to do this without the thief's ring. But just look how much it's helping. He barely knows I'm around. So the old hero's moveset he just whacks his sword and he does that big gold explosion AOE attack. Now, You just want to just hit and run, and just stay away from him because he hits really, really hard. And yeah, it's just really annoying. I have been him who had the face spin before, but anyways, we're about to take the old hero down, and he will be another demon that will become vanquished on our journey. So yeah. Alrighty everyone, we're now on to the last boss fight of the island level. Now this boss fight's a gimmick with a weapon called Storm Brawler, which will give us the ability to hit the Flying Stingrays and the Storm King. So this boss battle is similar to the Rykard boss battle in Elden Ring, which is pretty cool. I like when we get to use like a different weapon for like boss battles. But anyways, you just want to take out the small stingray, then focus on the Storm King, and just take cover in this broken building from the crystals he shoots. Anyways, this is another demon that's been vanquished. Alrighty everyone, we're now on the third last boss of the game, the Penetrator. I really like this boss. It's my favorite boss in the game because the Penetrator looks cool, his sword is cool, his armor is really cool, but it's a pain in the butt to get, which I might have to do a video on getting that armor set. But let me know if you want to see that. Anyways, there's a trophy tied to this if you let Briol of the Twin Fanes help you fight the Penetrator. And for those who are wondering, you can actually still rescue Yuria the Witch after the Penetrator boss fight. Because that's what I did straight away. You know, I just want to save her. But no, and also you want to avoid that like thrust attack because it does a lot of damage and can even one shot you sometimes. But we do a lot of damage, so it's good. And we kind of tank these hits, not gonna lie. But anyways, we're about to win this fight, and the Penetrator is gonna be vanquished. That's another demon vanquished. Alrighty, everyone, we're on the second last boss of this challenge, Old King Allant. As you see, he has ranged attacks and melee attacks, and he has quite a lot of HP and he's quite tanky. But I'm still using a +7 broadsword at this point in the game. So Old King Allant, I think, is a really cool boss, but this is not the King Allant you'll see after. And he does a lot of damage to us, which is like really crazy. But as you can see, our goal is just to two-hand the sword, only do attacks, and go back to the shield so we can block if needed. And we still have enough stamina to do a follow-up attack. And also, the way Kinelan attacks, like with his like sword slashes with the wind, reminds me of like some scenes from like anime, like the action like packed anime. You know, like when other characters like attack and you see the wind just being like broken and gone in all different directions. Yeah. Also, he can steal your level, as you saw. In his fist glowed blue for a moment, and I didn't know you can actually stagger him out of that attack. When he hits you with that fist, he will take away one level permanently. I have heard you can get it back if you use his soul, but I'm not entirely sure because once you beat him after this, you cannot level up. So you have to wait till you begin the next new game cycle. And I've chose some really bad times to heal up, which I've realised. So make sure you get a lot of room to heal up, but he can be quite aggressive, as you can see here. And yep, I got one of my soul levels drained, which sucked. Now, it can drain any stat, I believe. And also in this attack, in this area, you can actually knock him out of it. I chose to run away to be on the safe side of things, but if you're close to him, you can knock him out of it, which I've done before. And I could see he was about to go for a third one, but quickly changed into a leap slash attack. So we've almost beaten him, which is pretty good. And he does take a lot of damage, but doing okay damage. If I wanted to, I could have tried grinding for a lot more upgrade materials, but I didn't want to. I just want to get this challenge done. And yeah, but as you can see, old Kinelan has been vanquished. That's our second last demon vanquished. Alrighty, everyone, we're now onto the last boss, the last demon. This is what King Alan truly looks like. Now, the reason it looks like this is because of the soul arts, and he let himself be the old ones, um, like, oh, I don't know what you call it, um, pawn sidekick. Yeah, I don't know. But anyways, I can't add any more clips to this, so this will be the outro as well. Thanks for watching this video, everyone. I'll be doing Dark Souls 1 next, depending how well this video does. And if you want to help the channel grow, feel free to subscribe. Other than that, I've been your host, Rodney. Thanks for watching. Stay safe and peace.